put my pen away. I don't have anything else to write.
Did you write anything? Was there anything to write? What the fuck, dude? How?
I have a whole page of notes, and I was considering starting a second page, but I tried desperately to just cram it in there.
Oh, God.
Nothing happened, but I have notes.
What?
Oh, I have notes.
You were like a teacher grading this the whole time.
Needs improvement is my main note.
Welcome to
See
Rough
me
Cuts.
after class.
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
Oh, rats. I guess it's miles to the nearest Starbucks. What in tarnation?
What in tarnation?
I thought we took these in already.
Yeah, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Rough Cuts. Oh, God. I'm Boix. This is
Hey,
Ilion.
Boix. Hi, Ilion.
We're watching some trash. This is a podcast where we watch movies starring dogs and then rate the dogs at the end. And sometimes we tell you to watch a movie. This is not that time.
Well, I do have a recommendation about this movie. If you would like to watch Chihuahua Too, that's Too, the movie that we watched today, I would highly recommend having a lot of painkillers in your system while doing it, because then at least you can kind of snooze in between all the nothing.
I don't think the painkillers helped. I didn't have painkillers, to be clear. You did.
It didn't make it worse. We'll put it that way. I feel like I might have been in pain if I didn't have them watching this.
Like, Chihuahua 2. What do you think a Chihuahua 2 movie would be about, audience? This is a sequel to Chihuahua the movie, apparently.
My guess would be like... Okay, also, we'll put the poster up on our social media pages, at Rough Cuts Cast for Twitter and Rough Cuts for co-host. This poster is a, like, blue and pink spotlight, almost. Like, it's very bright on a Chihuahua in a, like, tiara bandana thing.
I think the word you're looking for is a flapper headband.
Is
from
it?
the
Is it a flapper
1910s
headband?
and 20s. That dog is absolutely a flapper.
No, well, sure, but that almost looks like a... I'd almost go like with an 80s exercise thing, too, with like a little flower on it. Anyways, and then like a necklace with, like, not a dog tags, necklace with... it's a PNG necklace is what it is. It's a JPEG.
It's very photoshopped on. And I think what you're missing from that is that the DVD release, because it's had a DVD release, is also in a foily rainbow like you would get from a super rare card out of a pack.
Sure. And
Pokemon
like
or whatever.
Sparkles and glitter all over it. So my guess would be like, okay, this is a show dog that's on stage and screen or something and gets kidnapped, or it is like some rich person's dog and it gets, again, like heisted in some way, or maybe maybe it has to, like,
criminals need to get caught so they can get the dog back.
Sure, or if you wanted to do a spin on it, this dog has to steal a diamond because, like, it's the only dog that's small enough to get into a thing, and so they're like, or like it's got like the retinal scans for like this diamond because it's a rich dog, and then it's kidnapped that way, or somebody kidnaps its friend.
Instead, though, Ghost Dog. like haunted dog.
Oh, that could be rad. Yeah. That's the reason why we watched this, in fact, because we went,
But extremely
ghost dog. Interesting.
boring ghost dog.
How boring, you might ask? Well, I can do the entirety of the plot in like 3 sentences, probably. Let me think about this. Okay.
Sure.
Family wins home. Home is haunted by dog, and kids kick out lady who wants house.
Yes. Basically, yes. That's the plot. Yeah.
And you're like, well, but wait, why would the kids kick the lady out of the house? What does that have to do with anything? Good question. It doesn't.
Well, you see, the dog is a ghost. So, and the Titanic and
yeah,
silent film and
See, it's
anyway,
it's a ghost dog, and then the lady wants the house, so the kids have to kick the lady out the house.
The only thing,
but
that
it's
this
their
movie
house,
really
you say, and yes, it is.
Yeah, the only thing this movie really has going for it is that it continues the rich tradition of the dog and the title being a ghost dog, which is completely opposite to the title and what you would expect to be happening.
And has absolutely
like a cop dog tradition.
And has no bearing on what the actual movie is about or cares about.
And it doesn't matter in the slightest.
Nope. We watched another ghost dog, and there's no Forrest Whitaker. I'll never get it. Where is this bastard? I keep hearing about him. Wait, is he a ghost?
That's a good question. The plot of this movie is not the interesting part, and there's very little there that
Tell
is
me
interesting.
I was gonna say, hold up. What's the interesting part? Because I'm still trying to suss that out.
I'm trying to figure out what they were trying to do. Like, so they have a ghost dog who starred in non-ghost dog films. Hold on. Of the 1910s and 20s. Like, what was it?
Cleopatra.
Sniffer Columbus is a good...
Sniffer Columbus was the only one that I actually was like, okay, yeah.
The Bart Commandments...
Too bad about all the war crimes, but, you know.
The Bart Commandments are weird. Yeah. I don't know what they were going for there with, like, very low-effort pun movie titles. But
that one was real low effort, yeah.
But apparently the family that owned this McMansion, which is worth millions of dollars... And
it would actually be,
at
though,
least
to be fair.
$50,000 in property tax every year to own. Were filmmakers in the silent era in the 1910s, and their films were all starring their dog,
Sophie,
whose main acting credit is that it's a little Chihuahua that just kind of shakes and sits there and doesn't do anything. But they put it in a costume. So
but
it's like a YouTube
costumes.
star or a TikTok star.
No, not a dog TikTok or YouTube star, just regular ones.
No, just a hack that, records.
Yeah, where
dog
they shake and go in a costume.
They shake the dog and then they put a fake paw making like a tiny omelet on a tiny skillet.
Okay, but I'd watch that TikTok.
Because those exist. That's a real channel. It sucks ass.
God.
But so they're making these shitty silent film, movies in the 1910s. And then they die on the Titanic. The owners die on the Titanic. Titanic sinks 4 hours after hitting iceberg. Huh. Did this dog cause the Titanic to sink?
What that is that's like those novelty fake newspaper things they wrap fish and chips in at like a bad...
Oh, yeah.
British store. That's exactly what that is.
They were on the Titanic.
Hold on.
I guess that's why Sophie is still here.
This is a plot twist in the most scare quotes that I can possibly do about, like, what, an hour and 30 minutes in?
It's like near the end of the film.
Yeah, it's like
with
10
a minute
minutes
of
before the
setup
end, kind
at
of thing.
most. Yeah.
Mhm.
But the owners die in the Titanic, but they left their dog at home alone when they went on the Titanic, which is a
Yes.
very long trip.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it made it.
Correct.
So their dog waited for them to come back and then apparently died of starvation and depression. and
I
became
guess?
a ghost. And then spent the rest of all eternity up until this family shows up, scaring people off by barking at them from the fence as a ghost.
Well, but it's not even trying to scare them off. It just goes in the water of the house because it likes to swim and does regular dog things.
At the beginning of the movie, it was barking at joggers and bicyclists, basically just harassing them.
Sure,
Right.
but like that's just a dog thing. Like it's not. It's the dogs talk, which oh my god is the most irrelevant dog talking video I've ever seen. And only to themselves. Like it's not like they talk to humans.
The
But-
humans cannot hear the dogs, yeah.
Yes, but it's not like that dog is ever like the dog is surprised when it's a ghost, right? Like it doesn't realize
That it's dead?
that it doesn't realize that its owners aren't coming back. That was a twist to the dog. So like the dog's not trying to scare people off. The dog is never shown. She never goes like, "Oh, I need people to leave." She's just doing dog shit. She's just doing a regular day.
They kind of do a little bit of the "I waited for you" Fry, though, with the sad moment when they reveal that the owners died on the Titanic.
I guess.
But yeah, it's weird. So, but that's the basic setup of the background, which they eventually tell you through the film, right?
Sure.
So the
I just
other
wanted to point
setup-
out that like they don't even actually have the dog scaring people though. It's just because this movie is too boring to have something interesting like that happening.
Oh, yeah.
And instead the dog is just doing its regular dog shit.
So the other part of the movie is the family that gets called to this McMansion by the previous butler, who
Yes.
has owned this house since the family died on the Titanic. That was in the 20s, wasn't it? Like
Yep.
1919, somewhere around there. He's had this
Something like that.
McMansion for like 80 years.
Yes. And
He's just been living in
also
it.
and also he's been managing all of the family's vast fortune and like pissing it away.
Mm-hmm.
But now he's like, wait, I'm a butler. My only job in life is to buttle. I will.
What did he
I know.
do?
I need a master.
What did he do between the Titanic sinking and using his computer to contact this family in the Midwest?
Oh, I was gonna say I have an answer for this. He eventually, because one of the things that he does is he sends out an email that says, "Hi, your uncle has died recently, and I just need a small down payment so that you can come and pick
Oh,
up
yeah.
the house that he has and fortune that he has left you. Please send it to my PayPal at this .ru." And
Yeah.
they
and
do
did
that.
Yeah.
And then they go to their house because that's what you do. Yeah.
it works. The system
Always make sure to do
works. This is why I always check my spam filter. You never know what's going to be in there.
that.
Never
Google
know.
just wants
There
you to
are-
stay poor. That's the
There
thing.
are so many naked women that want to contact me.
Like I said, and Google hides that from you because they don't want you to be rich. They're
don't
going
want
to
you to know the
contact your
truth.
uncle and they're going to take your house. Make sure that you send all that money first. They don't want you to know that, man.
Yeah, so the family shows up, and then the butler's like, "Oh, by the way, this house is spooky."
Maybe the right time for me to run a few things by you about the house. She has a few squeaks and creaks, but I mean that's
Murder and little blood.
towards the end.
Grandma
Most
living in the
fast
walls.
tenants here. who complained about some odd things. And nothing that made anyone go screaming out into the night. I thought I should say that if you should hear some noise in the middle of the night, in the wee hours, maybe you should
Piano?
just in case we might have some hungry termites.
Ha 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 ha.
Ha ha ha. And also, the property tax in this place is ridiculous. Look at these financial records.
Oh my god.
You
You
could
cannot
afford this,
believe
right?
how much money this place is. Because I mean, it's a beachfront property with like a huge pool and like brickwork everywhere. It's got this unbelievably large like yard and everything. Like it's got to be on a few acres.
Yeah, it's real expensive. It has to be. And, like, the whole film is the family saying, we could not afford this fucking house.
Yes.
What the
Which-
fuck?
But here's the thing. What's amazing is that is the catalyst for the quote-unquote plot and their problems. But it's not a problem because this house is worth conservatively $6 million.
They could just sell it.
So
Yeah.
you sell the fucking house and you make $6 million.
But,
like-
but the plot decides they need the house for some reason instead of $6 million. And, by the way, they already have a house
Yes.
in the Midwest, in the suburbs. And they also bring up, well, we already have a home. Why do we need this fucking McMansion? And they never answer that question.
The literal tension in this movie is, well, but how can we have our cake and eat it?
Yes, they want it all. Yes. They also want their baby back ribs. I want my baby back ribs. And they can't get that either. They can't get that
Man.
either. And it sucks. But
I wish that Chili's would let me have them.
Chili's,
Baby
back
ribs. we really do not want to talk about this movie.
Okay, they
I would have
get
done
the
a
house-
better job sleeping in.
They get the house from the fucking butler. Right? Okay, so they decide to stay, and the dog thinks it's a vacation, and the humans think it's a vacation. And the audience is thinking, they just got this fucking mansion. What are they going to do with this fucking thing? This is not a vacation.
No.
This is a panic moment of, oh god, our financial records are in ruin after acquiring this place.
It's not a panic moment. It's not. I mean, that's what the movie's trying to make it out to be, but also, but it's not because, like you said, they're all like, "Oh, well, we'll just vacation," and it's the rest of the movie is them just like
Hanging
sitting
out.
on their new
Yeah.
beachfront property, drinking and swimming. And
I thought it was weird that the mansion came pre-furnished, but apparently rich people just sell their house with all of the furnishings. I've seen that on Zillow, so they just don't buy. They don't keep the furniture. They just leave it there, and like you buy a mansion furnished. Good job. That happens apparently.
a lot of the time, a lot of the time that does make sense because it's harder
Yeah.
to move furniture. Like it's more expensive to move it than to buy new stuff. A lot of the time.
It's weird though. Like if you're buying a $6 million
Mm-hmm.
home, you don't want to furnish it yourself. Like really?
Yeah, I don't know. It's
Fucking weird.
yeah.
But anyways, so rich people are fucking weird, is what I'm getting
The
at.
weird part about it is that it's also with all of like the old photos still from families.
Yeah.
It's
So
like,
you
why
bought
did the
a house
butler
with
keep any of
the
that?
family photos on the wall? That would be
Especially when he's
right?
been like, apparently he was saying like, oh, he had previous tenants. So I mean, has he been Airbnb-ing this
He
place?
must
or-
have been. Like he had the mansion for 80 years. He's been renting it out to vacationers. How does he keep his finances in check otherwise, right? It doesn't make
Well,
sense.
we don't know. Obviously, he hasn't. They wouldn't be in this trouble otherwise.
Man. But so after they get the house, it sort of turns into like a haunting of Bly Manor or haunting of Hill House situation where they
God,
start
that is so
exploring the
insulting
house.
to those.
Well, Flanagan maybe did it a little better, but
Maybe. I don't know. He's kind of a hack.
Yeah, I've seen Midnight Mass. It was just spooky ghosts and vampires. What's the big deal? Ooh, a monster.
Oh no, there's vampires and it's about mortality and life and...
Ooh, thinking about stuff in my
God.
movie. Ooh. What's next? The humans are the real monster?
God, yeah, what am I supposed to do? Think about the human condition? Ugh.
I got a dog to watch. I don't got time for this shit.
I was gonna say, just give me some dogs to swim in a pool for 45
But what I'm
minutes.
getting at is they explore the house and they find, like, haunted pictures and things moving, and they find a door which is locked, which is opaque, and they don't have a key for it, which is very Flanagan.
Okay, you say that the door is opaque, which doors normally are, so please explain.
Oh, I need to point out it's opaque because it's a glass door that they've put, like, a piece of paper behind. To the basement, but...
They couldn't pick any other spooky door. There's no spooky door in the house that's just, I don't know, not a glass door that you can see through.
Well, they couldn't paint anything in the house because they were renting it for the weekend.
I mean,
right?
sure, but that they don't have a door, just a regular old fucking door. Just a door.
But it's important because they show, like, a spooky well. They have spooky camera angles on a pool that they keep pointing out, and they keep pointing out that the kids and the dog can't swim as they're pointing out this very spooky pool. Like, and they find a little dog house that has a little piano and a little chair and a little gun and a little...
It's the show your bedside table thing, and it's just like the Elon Musk thing with like 3 energy drinks, a beer, and a 50 caliber.
Yeah, there's 3
Desert
Monster
Eagle.
Energy drinks in this spooky doghouse. But, like, they're setting up...
Shows why that Chihuahua's shaking.
Like, I could have thought at any moment that the butler was a ghost also. Like, that type of thing where there's the spooky twist.
I mean,
right?
he'd have to be, because he's 80 years old. And
like, how is he that old and still has the house? And none of it makes sense, right?
Well, butlers are born into it. He was 3. Buttled since the young age of 3.
I hate that. It's probably true.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
Fuck.
I'm not rich enough to know. I don't know. I'm pretty sure we could grow butlers on trees.
But they even find a Dogrenomicon in the basement when they finally open the spooky door after finding a set of keys at the spooky doghouse, right? Like, and the Dogrenomicon it's bound in human flesh and has pictures of dogs in cute costumes inside.
And it smells like stinky boiled broccoli.
Yeah, nobody likes the smell of broccoli.
No.
Ugh. Like, there's spooky elements here that they were trying to do, and they failed miserably.
I don't know if they were trying to do them.
What was it? The Sniftifer Columbus that ruined it? Is that
like, well,
did that ruin it?
But like you're saying that I don't know, because it's weird. They're trying to do this spookiness, like you're saying, but they have some of those tropes set up, but also it doesn't really have like the music or like none of it's shot at night or in the dark. Like when they're showing the spooky door, it is just a flat shot in the day with no like spooky lighting or anything for it, and they all just go, "Oh, hey, that's weird. We don't have the key to that door. Let's just open it up." And it's done like that, like it's acted like that, like
yeah.
They don't put any tension on it. They're like, "Oh, do you think maybe any of the keys in the doghouse that's all like covered in spider webs and obviously abandoned, this weird keychain, do you think that maybe that opens it up?" "Yeah, probably." And then they just open it. And then they open it and they go inside and they're like, "Oh wow, look, it's a really cool room." And that's it.
Yeah, and look at this spooky book. And this
and then they go, "Oh, cool, look at this
reel-to-reel
book."
film
Yeah.
projector.
Like, there's all the elements like that, but they all act in a very super, super flat way, or even excited about it, like it's a cool, happy thing.
They do it really badly.
And then it
but
goes
the elements are there, is what I'm getting at. Like, they
yes, the
could
elements
have done
are, but I'm just,
something.
I'm saying that it might have been a total accident with how bad this movie is.
Yeah. So here's the other question. Do you know how to use a reel-to-reel film projector? It's really hard.
Yes. Yeah.
It's very difficult to set up a reel-to-reel so that the actual fucking film is lined up properly in the right way with the right amount of slack at the right points on a reel-to-reel.
No,
and they got
what you do is
working.
You insert the 2 discs and then it plays.
And then it plays. And then if you rewind it, you just press rewind.
Yeah. You hit you stop and rewind, which is really old technology. That's tough.
Yeah. Yeah. I always rewind my DVDs too, and my Blu-rays. You always want to rewind your Blu-ray, right?
You gotta be kind.
It's gotta be nice. But a reel-to-reel is actually difficult. So for them to find a reel-to-reel projector, set up the reel, and then have a movie night, implies they've done this before, because you can't just do that.
No.
It's really hard. But if I'm going to suspend my disbelief for the Ghost Dog Flapper movie, I guess they could figure out a reel-to-reel. Sure. The point is, they do all this sort of not really spooky stuff, and they find the ghost dungeon with the Doggernomicon, and they summon Cleopatra.
Yes.
Sophia.
By reciting the Chihuahua.
Sophie, yeah. By reciting the words, bark, 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 bark.
Bark. In the mirror.
In the mirror, which causes the dog to come out of the television. Anyways, the dog wants them to leave because it's her mansion, and she's waiting for her owners to come home, and they're invading, I think. It's very
She never says that.
It's very loose.
I don't know, but she never says that. Yeah. All she does is swim. She has a bathtub that's hers that she likes to swim in, and they keep putting this poor Chihuahua that only wants to get out of this bathtub, because every single scene is this dog being like, please let me out, please let me out.
Yes.
And that's it. That's all she does.
But the dog causes havoc to try and get them to leave, though. But we don't know why. It's implied.
Does she?
Yes, because she moves all their luggage outside to the front of
I guess
the house.
She does do that at one point.
Which is a very much go away. That is go away.
That's the only one, though. That's the only thing that she does. Like,
she also destroys everything in the kitchen at knee height.
Well, but that was because she was trying to, like, find a thing. Like, they do that as, like, her going about her day doing stuff, and it disturbs them, but she's not doing it because of them. She's doing it because that's her dog thing.
Do we need to get a dog whisperer into this mansion to tell us more about what this dog's feeling
we need
at this moment?
Caesar. Oh God, what's his? It's Caesar. So yeah, let's get him in there. But we gotta have him with like an EM meter.
Yeah. So what?
Oh my God, a crossover event of the Discovery and History channels or whatever.
Yeah.
Where you
what
get,
I think
like,
is that this dog is a reincarnation of Annie Oakley, like I saw in that 1-900 commercial. And I need to call the number so I know for sure.
Cute little dog you've got there. But hold on. In a previous life, he could have been George Washington. Nice cat. Perhaps Annie Oakley. And look at him. Why, it's Napoleon. Reincarnation. What human being was your pet in a previous lifetime? Master reincarnationist E. David Scott will tell you when you call this number. Just answer simple questions with your touch-tone phone. $1.95 per minute for entertainment only. Under 18, get permission. Call now. Learn who your pet was as a human in a previous lifetime.
I would actually... Can we get a crossover event of ghost hunters and, like, the dog training Caesar guy?
Oh, yeah,
I would actually watch that. There we go.
So, the dog causes havoc, I guess.
Anyways, yes.
And the family, the parents, think that it is a intruder, which I can only assume is white people speak for a minority has entered their house.
I was going to say, they have watched a lot of Fox News. Yeah.
And read the local paper every morning, which shows the arrest records in their county. Yes.
Mm-hmm. They're constantly terrified every time that any drawer is opened or a, like, photo is turned slightly to the side because of this ghost dog. that it means that, oh my god, intruder!
So they're constantly running around with, like, weapons at the ready to smack their children at any moment if they surprise them. Yeah.
Yes. Weapons being coat hangers and blow dryers.
Yeah. There might be protesters outside at any moment. We better get ready.
Oh, God.
It's those type of people. But they're from, they're like suburban Midwestern, like...
Teachers. They say later on that they're teachers. Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't make that much sense, but I guess they're just very indoctrinated by xenophobia.
I have an idea. I know why this is happening.
Yeah.
They, as the characters in the movie, would not care about this. But the writers, who are weird xenophobic rich white people, are terrified of this shit and don't understand that nobody else is.
The director is some lady who was just on a bunch of, like, television shows in the 70s and 80s, I think, when I looked at it. And this is her only directorial movie. Otherwise, she was an actress in a bunch of television shows. So, like, rich, washed-up white actress, I guess. I don't...
Who lives in a gated community and is now...
definitely lives in a gated community and terrified of the minorities.
I was gonna say, sits in her house constantly, like, holding her blow dryer, screaming at every squeak in the house, going, "Oh my god, intruder!"
Yeah. No, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it for sure. So, like, great. Glad that's in this movie, I guess. But the parents decide they need to sell the McMansion because they just can't afford the property tax. Which,
like you said, is funny because that's actually accurate. They did the real thing where they were like, wait.
It's the opposite of Beverly Hills, Chihuahua.
We can't afford this property. The property taxes will kill us, which, correct. But also, you still just sell the place and then go, haha, payday.
Yes. So they invite people to come over and view their house, which is not on the market. But they plan to sell.
We want to sell this place. We're desperately in need to sell this place, or the property taxes will bankrupt us. Also, it's not on the market.
So I don't know how they got somebody to view the house if they're not selling the house actively. That seems really weird to me. Like, did they put an ad on the internet, on Craigslist or something? Like,
it's extremely weird.
What? But they get some couple, and I think the wife's mom is there as the other person.
Yeah.
And they're showing them around, and the husband that comes to view sees the golden retriever, their dog, which is not the ghost dog. I forgot they have their own dog who talks. Did we mention the dogs talk? There's no point to them talking.
There's literally no point to them talking.
They're in the film, kind of, technically.
Well, okay, I will say there is one point to the dogs talking, and that is the thing that you called, which I absolutely fucking hate that you said it. And the minute that you said it, I went, don't say that. You're going to bring it into existence, and it's going to suck. And I was right. Which was when you asked, is the dog horny?
And then they spent 40 minutes talking about how horny the dog was for the Chihuahua? Yes.
Yeah.
What a looker.
The dad seems like he is, perpetually.
Is the dog horny?
Oh no, don't say those things, because every time it happens.
Oh no.
I'm feeling this dog a lot.
Oh no.
You're not allowed to be right about this.
That the dog's horny?
Yes.
Yeah, there was a big love plot.
Uh-huh. I mean, it took about 5 minutes of this movie, which is more than any other plot did, so...
But yeah, that golden retriever wants that Chihuahua.
That gussy.
Great. Glad that's in there.
That ghost.
No, you can't say ghost pussy. Although, pussy is this is a podcast that is not for children. Gussy suffix is the suffix of 2022. So Gussy is the correct term.
Gussy is the correct term. Yeah.
But you can't just fucking say that.
That's a Pokemon. That's one of
No, that is not a
Arceus.
Do not get a Gimmighoul coin for your Gussy. No. This is not how this
I'm
works.
pretty sure you...
Fuck you. Anyway, the point I was getting to before the Gutsy incident is the guy sees the golden retriever. He's like, "Oh, I don't want to view this house anyway. I'm just gonna go pet this dog outside," which is correct.
Yeah, that's the best. I connected with that man so much. Oh,
and he goes outside, sits down on a bench with the golden retriever, petting this dog. He's like, "Hey, dog, how you doing? You doing okay? What a good pup." "Oh, are you in the doghouse? Just like me. I was in the doghouse once when I ate Hot Pockets."
Oh, God.
Oh, sorry, buddy. I know what it's like to be in the doghouse. One time I got in trouble just for eating Hot Pockets. Yeah. She was all mad. Why didn't I cook dinner? I don't know. Why not?
I like Hot Pockets, too.
Everybody loves Hot Pockets.
Have you ever had a pocket full of meat and sauce that's dry, too wet
And-
at the same time somehow, and also hot and
on the
frozen
outside.
solid?
Yeah, and frozen solid. And it's fantastic. Yes, I have.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, they're trying to buy a $6 million home and eating Hot Pockets. So,
Sure.
whatever. I don't fucking whatever.
It's to go through Starbucks. You gotta wash that shit down somehow.
Was this movie sponsored by Hot Pockets?
No.
Why was
no,
that
it was
in
not.
there?
No.
It definitely wasn't.
Okay.
But,
Wait. I have another theory.
yeah.
Just like how our characters are not worried about intruders, but the writer is. This writer, who was a woman, was mad at her husband for not making dinner one time and instead making Hot Pockets.
I'm gonna look that up because I don't know if the director was also the writer. The director is Morgan Hart. So I'm curious who the writer is. I'm gonna look real quick. This is some
All right, let's
Alyssa
look,
Davalos and Morgan Most. So the director is also the writer. Okay. Good.
I figured it would be that because it is shitty enough to do that.
Yeah. At least co-written by the director. The other writer wrote Perry Mason, Matlock, Diagnosis Murder. Wait a minute.
Oh, okay. Well, this makes perfect sense. What it was is she wrote this, and then she needed to actually make it into a script, which is a very specific type of writing.
Yes.
And she had no idea how to actually do a script, and so she
got a
hired
scriptwriter to fix it.
She got a scriptwriter to fix it enough that it would actually be filmable, if not good. And the scriptwriter was like, "Yeah, I mean, the last thing I did was MacGyver, so if you'll pay me, I'll do it."
Who left the Hot Pocket line in? That's the question.
Like I said,
scriptwriter
if
or
you'll
the
pay
director?
me, I'll do. If you'll pay me, I'll do it. I think that's
Anyways,
the answer, boys.
the ghost chihuahua causes the mom that's touring the house to fall down the stairs and break her neck in a horrible Mike Flanagan accident, which causes a new ghost to appear.
Mm-hmm.
Except she's fine, because she cartoon Pratfell, I guess.
Yeah. Did the ghost even do that? It was just like a rolled up rug. I don't even think they showed the ghost doing it.
Pulled the rug that she was standing perfectly still and not moving on, which caused her to trip and fall.
Wasn't it? There was a balled up side of the rug. Was that just... Wait, so they had a balled up side of the rug that looked like she was going to trip on it, but then the dog pulled it and I missed it?
Yes. That's what happened.
Amazing.
So, the husband and wife decide to leave because it's too spooky in this house. It's too spooky.
A piano played itself and some pool balls on a pool table rolled.
So they don't want to buy the house anymore. But the mom says that she'll buy the house on her own because it's a steal and she can sell it on the market for twice the value that these two idiot fools are selling it for.
Yeah.
I think.
Which,
right?
yes, which sounds like a win-win?
Yeah, they get money. She gets a profit on this fucking McMansion that she can renovate.
And they can sell the house off
sell.
immediately.
Correct. So it's terrible.
Oh my god, what a disaster. We have to stop this, say the children.
Yeah, so the kids decide...
What we need to do is bankrupt our family.
They need to bankrupt the family because they saw the ghost dog and they know the ghost dog's real. And it's real because things can't be impossible. Remember? Cell phones were impossible until they were made.
Yeah, there was a time when they
Email
thought
was
the cell phones were impossible, or when they used to do the Pony Express, and emails would take weeks to get to people because they had to deliver them.
And this kid just goes off on his parents about ghosts can't be impossible because technology.
Yeah.
Enough! You two both know there's no such thing as a ghost dog.
So the mom wants the house. But the kids don't want her to take the house because it has a ghost dog. And ghost dogs are cool.
I guess. What's funny is that they decided that they didn't want her to have the house before they realized about the ghost dog at first. And then they found out more about the ghost dog and then also justified it later, which was kind of amazing. And it's like, well, why do you need the house? It's a cool house. Which,
yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like, that's a good reasoning for children, but also, like, really bad reasoning for a movie.
For a film.
At least unless you're gonna do, like, a story about, like, the kids and talking to them and going, like, hey, listen, like, we have to live within our means. You know what I mean? Like, having, like, a lesson for the kids.
This movie doesn't have a moral lesson anywhere.
Oh, God.
No.
This movie has...
There's nothing. Nothing happens. Yeah. But the kids prank call, answer the phone, faking to be their mom, so that they can tell her to come have a showing of the house again on her own, so she could take pictures. And then they're gonna set up a bunch of Home Alone-esque traps, but like what a kid would think of, not what.
Not what a psychopath
Home Alone would think of. They're not gonna like light a torch on her head and drop a fucking paint bucket on her face from the top of the stairs.
What a kid would think of, but not one that like exclusively picks the wings off of flies.
Yeah. So they decide they're gonna scare her away with like bubbles in the closet and the smell of cooking broccoli in a pot,
which is work.
Spooky,
by the way.
And also, the scariest thing of all, which is a funnel placed into the air duct that the dogs can then talk into.
Yes. Yeah.
And the ghost dog...
But the dogs also don't talk.
No, the ghost dog... So they don't human talk. They can human talk to each other, but not the humans. And they instead decide to talk into the funnel by saying, ooh woo, and oh whoa. Oh woo. Oh woo.
Quiet!
Oh woo.
No wooing. $500 penalty.
Oh whoa. What's this? Ooh,
no. To which the lady goes, wait, I've seen Fox News. Are there furries in this house? Oh my god. Ooh, it's full of the woke.
And then the Chihuahua's like, oh no, you better leave my house, woo. Which is terrifying.
And again, all of these things actually do scare this woman, which is incredible, until she gets the bubbles in the closet. When the bubbles in the closet happen, she goes, Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of some children
who I will grind into bread. I'll grind their bones to make my bread. I am a giant.
Fee, fi, fo,
So
fum.
scary.
I smell the blood of some children.
So then this lady who is appropriately mad because these children have been fucking with her and takes the kids and goes, I'm going to tell your parents you're in trouble. And then the ghost actually shows up and trips her.
Well,
and then
she thinks the kids are playing another prank because the ghost is underneath a sheet that they set up to be like, look at this spooky sheet ghost. But she's an adult and she knows that this is childish bullshit. So she pulls the sheet down, but the ghost dog is under the sheet, which scares her because she lifts the sheet and there's no dog. So that's what scares her to leave the house. Right?
Yeah.
And the parents left, by the way, to go get Twinkies and Ding Dongs without their kids, which is code for going to have sex at a hotel, I assume. Except they actually got Twinkies and Ding Dongs.
They
so
just
I
got
don't know
Twinkies
what
and
the
Ding
fuck they
Dongs.
were doing.
Getting Twinkies and Ding Dongs.
I don't what?
And then fucking them.
No, they didn't have sex with the Twinkies and that's not even hygienic. No. But the parents come back and the mom that wanted to buy the place is driving by and she opens her window and she's like, fuck you, fuck your house, your kids are fucking little dickheads, and I hope you burn in hell and get buried under the dead of your fucking mansion.
Yes, and they go, wait, is that Nora? Oh god. Not Salone? Not so well?
So well, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Her name was Nora Not So Well, which is the first time that we hear her name.
I guess. Sure.
And they called her Nora Not So Well.
So the parents
So
come
there's
back,
our
I guess.
villainous, I guess.
And they're talking to their kids about the ghost dog, which is not real, because ghosts aren't real. And then they eventually, I think, see the Chihuahua, because their dog gets in the pool and starts swimming, which their dog can't swim, I think.
Yes. Well, no. There's the setup. Remember, this is the setup from the beginning of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
The little girl is eating the sandwich beside the pool, and then the golden retriever shoves her in, and...
Oh, because he wants to commit a crime. Yeah.
And then the other dog rescues her with
Sophie,
with a ring, like a lifeguard ring.
How did that
Because
dog
Sophie
inflate that
can
pool
swim.
ring? That's the next question I have.
Who cares?
Right, but they see the Chihuahua, and then they say something like, oh my god, is there a Chihuahua Too?
Does this house come with a Chihuahua too?
And then they look at the camera as it zooms in on their faces.
Is that a joke or her name?
It has to be a joke.
Mangy, overdone.
Does it?
You're Chihuahua Too.
Chihuahua Too.
Title drop. Okay. All right. You know. The movie wasn't smart enough to do anything like that, sadly.
No, but they said the
They
title
did say
for
Chihuahua
some
too.
reason.
Oh yeah, no, they absolutely title drop. But the movie, I feel like the movie didn't even realize they did the title drop. I think that they just wrote that in and forgot
On
that
accident?
was the title.
Yeah,
Yes,
maybe.
Yeah.
But, so, the Chihuahua saves Jen, the small girl, and then they're like, oh wow, we have a mansion with a ghost Chihuahua. I guess
we have to keep it.
And then they invite all their friends over to their mansion with their dog so they can have a movie night of a music video of clips from this film that we just watched, I guess.
And they keep the house and go bankrupt.
And then
that's the story.
They go bankrupt and fall into financial ruin and die a horrible death. That's the only thing I can assume that happened.
I mean, that was the plot, right? That they had to get rid of, they had to sell the house
And they
to make
didn't, so
money.
they must have fallen into ruin.
They must have.
What?
They're all ghosts now.
But that's Chihuahua Too. I don't know what I expected from a ghost dog movie of this caliber, but it was really boring.
I really need to see Chihuahua 1.
So I looked up Chihuahua 1. Do you think there's a ghost dog in Chihuahua 1? Because you're going to be very disappointed.
No, I don't. I want to know what the fuck Chihuahua is about then.
Chihuahua the movie is a Freaky Friday situation where an owner changes brains with her Chihuahua.
Okay.
I have no idea what the fuck that has to do with this.
Well, it does have a user review, which Chihuahua 2 didn't. And the review of it does say, my half-asleep grandpa with Alzheimer's on pain meds loved it. That's literally the title.
Put that on the box. Yeah, so Chihuahua 2 had 1 review on IMDb, 0 on Rotten Tomatoes, and like 4 reviews on Amazon Prime for the DVD that all said, I caught this on streaming and bought a copy. And nothing else of value.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Which all have to be paid for fake reviews, because there's no way those
5
are real.
stars.
So this is about as obscure of a film as it gets. Right? Literally nobody's talking about this. And
yeah. What we did is we found the keys in a dog shed and opened up a spooky door in Boyks' house, and somehow there was a film reel behind it, and it had Chihuahua 2
we found film reels that were out of order and had no audio, and we had to cut it together and get actors from the era to redub it.
We'd have done a better job. We'd have done a better job. Please don't insult me like this. I would have done a better job.
We made New York Ninja 2, the sequel. My God. So, what pissed me off, so there's 2 dogs. There's a golden retriever and a chihuahua. Homer, which is the golden retriever. I don't even think I mentioned his name because he's so irrelevant to the film.
I didn't remember the name. I'm glad that you did, because I totally didn't remember the name.
And Sophie the chihuahua. And
Sophie, I did, yeah.
They're both real-life shelter dogs in the credits, they tell us.
Oh, God.
And they put them back in the shelter after the movie and said, by the way, they're still up for adoption. You can go get these dogs from this film.
Maybe you should rescue the dogs. I don't know.
Why didn't they fucking rescue the dogs they put in
as
the
part
movie?
of the filming? Yeah.
Yes. They put them back. That pisses me off.
They borrowed them for a movie to make money.
And then they tortured this chihuahua by throwing it into a fucking, bathtub. And it very much did not want to be in there.
Yep.
Just so they could get this film done? Like, what the fuck? They didn't know somebody that had dogs? Really?
Oh.
They had a... Really?
Well, they didn't know anybody that wanted dogs either. They could have just found 2 people that wanted these dogs and given them away afterwards.
And Homer, the golden retriever, gets a lot of pets, loves talking about, stuff all the time and how much he really wants to date that chihuahua. I would date Homer as a talking about Hot Pockets out of 10.
Yeah, frozen inside, hot outside.
Yeah.
That's Homer.
Sophie the ghost dog, Chihuahua. Like most Chihuahuas, just kind of sits there shaking a lot. Doesn't really do anything. Not a very photogenic animal, I've got to say. I don't know why.
Wow,
they
just fucking
this.
Roast this dog, Boyks. Jesus. Hey, Chihuahuas, fuck them. Put that on the box.
I would give Sophie a Haunting of Bly Manor out of 10, I guess. That's the best I got. Yeah. I really hope both of these dogs got adopted from that shelter, because that pisses me off still. I'm mad.
Anyways, that's how we're going to end our comedy podcast. Thank you for listening to
I don't know, man. This movie sucked ass. I don't know.
I'm not grumpy. Everybody else is too happy, says Boy.
Oh, yeah, so I sent you a really shitty
Chihuahua poster.
Chihuahua poster that has watermarks all over it, which is photoshopped with a Chihuahua holding beer at like a pub, saying, "I'm not grumpy, everyone else just too happy." And that's essentially this movie. Yeah, that's it.
Well, thanks for listening to Chihuahua Too. Please do not watch it. We have given you a gift. Do not ever check out this movie. Do not look at it. We know that we're not supposed to rate the movies, but
no, and we didn't even mention all the filmmaking issues, like the problems with lighting, the day in one scene and then cut to night in the next scene, even though it's the same scene, like the mic problems.
The opening scene that is shot, like, we knew immediately how garbage this was when the opening scene is them driving, like, and it's a camera shot outside of the window of the car, and it's just a blur because of the combination of two big issues. A, the camera is way too low quality. And to capture any shot like that. And B, when you do those shots in actual movies, they're not going at actual highway speed. Whereas this was like they were on the freeway and they just filmed it at high speed.
Like,
so
you should film it at low speed and then speed it up so it's still clear. Yes, if you're going to do high
if you're
speed
going
that
to
way.
do that, or you just do it at slower speed. Like, there's a lot of movies where it's just like a slower pan and it still gives you the idea of traveling, right?
The music was too loud at points, where it was drowning out the people talking.
Like, there's a moment where the dad's in the hall when the ghost spooks them, and he gets on the mic and he's like, "Hey kids, go!" Like, because it just keeps peaking and cracking.
I don't want to discourage people. You can make a film. I have not made a movie. Like,
No.
I am a hypocrite. but I think,
hypocritic, in fact.
I think you could put a little more effort than this film, is what I'm getting at, right? Like,
well, this is the kind of film that you should actually watch. I saw a thing from, oh god, I can't remember which writer it was. It might have actually been Vonnegut. Somebody was saying, though, like, no, you've got to read bad books because, and you got to watch bad movies. You don't want to watch good movies if you want to make a film. You want to watch bad movies because then you watch things like this and you go, oh, these are all the things that you shouldn't do. And also, it'll inspire you to, like, you watch a good movie and you're like, damn, I'll never make something that good. You watch a movie like this and you're going to go, I could do this over a weekend. I could fuck this shit up in like half the time.
Anyway, follow us on social media at roughcutscast at most places. Email us at roughcutscast@gmail.com. Definitely, support us on the Patreon.
Thanks everybody for doing that. We did get a new patron recently, so we really appreciate that a lot. We pay money for a lot of these movies.
Hosting costs money.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for today. We'll catch you next time for another episode of Rough Cuts. So see you then, I guess. Yeah. I'm thinking I might go pick up some Hot Pockets.
I'm gonna go relax by my pool in my mansion and finish off my painkillers.
All right, just watch out that a ghost dog doesn't push you in.
Good job, son.
Oh god, they're doing our podcast. You can't steal our shit.
Sophie.
That's something that we'd watch. Get out of here.
Get the shit out of here. Stop watching movies in my movies.
Hey, stop taking my job.
Hey, I'm fucking walking here. I'm watching a film. Get the fuck out of here.
Sophie, Cleopatra.
Hey, Lois, remember that time we died on the Titanic?
So we can all stay together.
he hits the iceberg, and like
Sophie,
the whole Titanic is doing
we are
that.
your family now.
Fuck, that's actually a good joke, though. I was like, that couldn't be a Family Guy joke because that's actually funny.